Yep, we got flooding down here. Yeah, this storm is supposed to have some of the highest tides that we've had in decades. Storm surge up to 5 feet above normal. Winds gusting up to 50 to 60 miles an hour. And yeah, we've got some flooding down here on the farm already. Hey, yep, the tide is up. It's rolling across here pretty good. So in a previous hurricane where you see the equipment here in the barn, we've had water as much as about 6 to 8 inches in that barn. So not quite covering the bush hog, but you know, up pretty good in it. That's from a hurricane. This is just from a storm with flooding, tidal flooding. So I don't think this is the worst of it yet. And I'm not sure when high tide is. I'll have to look at the high tide map and see when that is today. Okay, the water has come up more just in the last 5 minutes here. So yeah, it's going to be some bad flooding. Well, it already is bad flooding. It's going to get worse. Alright, you probably cannot see it with this camera, but down on the end of the wheat field, there is water way up in the field. It looks like the geese are down there congregating and enjoying it. Wow, you can hear that wind too. When I put fertilizer down yesterday on this field, the tide was high and just on the edge of the field, but now that tide is really high and the water is way up in that field. So yeah, we're about 3 feet, at least 3 feet above normal tide. I can see the river crashing over the banks into the field on this side. And I know all along the end of this field next to the creek shore, it's underwater. In fact, the grass took over, and I didn't get any beans because of some high tides that we had over the summer. And you can kind of see the grass right through there. And that's where the water comes up into. Wow, I am seeing a lot of reports and pictures of flooded areas everywhere in this county because of the coastal flooding event that we've got. I'm headed down to the farm now. I just got a picture from Jeffrey, who lives down at the farm. There's a piece of metal flapping on one of the roofs down there. I'm going to go down and try to save it in this rain and try to get it tacked back down before the entire piece blows off and creates bigger issues. But yeah, this wind and the rain is not so bad. We really are not getting that much rain. It's mainly the wind and the coastal flooding. That wind is just pushing the tide up, as I said earlier, up to 5 feet above normal. I know the farmer's daughter went down. She left the hardware store while I was there, and she was coming down here to the farm to check on her boats. She wasn't able to get them out of the water, but she was coming down to check on them to see if they were still tied down, which they were when I was here 2 hours ago. I'm not sure what else she can do with them. Hopefully she has her hip waders on in order to get to the boats. All right, let's go down and check out this piece of metal and see if I can get some nails in it or some screws so it doesn't blow off completely. The tide has come up way more in the last 2 hours since the last time I was here. Yeah, I can definitely see the water up much further. Well, this tin, oh yeah, I see it right on the corner of the shop here. That piece of tin is blowing up there a little bit. Yep, all right, let me try to get up there and do something with it. I don't know what, but I'll see if I can do something with it. I got it screwed down. I got a couple of screws in it. Of course, they're not the right ones. The first thing I found, well, it was nails that were in there, and these nails pulled out because of that wind. I found green screws to go in there, but hey, hopefully that'll hold it down. I got about 6 in there, but wouldn't you know it, the rain and the wind picked up just as I was going out to do this, got up on the ladder, and now I am soaked on the back side. Yes, soaked. Wow. And I wasn't up there but maybe 3 minutes. I just had a short ladder, so what I did was I backed my truck up against the building. Yeah, I put my truck up against the side here, and then I put the ladder in the truck, and that put me up high enough to get up there and put that tin on. But look at that, the way the wind is blowing in that door, you can see it bowing in a little bit. Wow, yeah, that's... I've never been down here when the wind has been blowing against the door like that to see it, but it's bowing it in. Okay, I think I'll venture back down to the creek shore in the barns to see how bad the water is now. Just doing the windshield tour of the rain gauge. It looks like there's only 3/10 in the gauge. Am I looking at that right? I don't want to get wet, but hold on, let me get wet and see what's really in there. all it was. 3/10 is all we've had so far. I'm going to see if I can back out of here without hitting any skid steer loaders. All right, let's look all the way around, and I see nothing, so it is safe to back out. All right, water, as I said earlier, it's come up further. You can see it here in the ditch. And more of the road is covered here. And yep. So can you see, let me pull up further here. Water has been as high as, you see where the bottom of the tin is on this barn. Water has been to the bottom of that tin from flooding down here in the past. So that was, ooh, I can't remember if that was a hurricane or just a nor'easter that came through. So yeah, we've still got a ways to go on that barn. I think that barn sits a little bit lower than this one here. I think it was about 12 inches up on that tin when it flooded here, 15 years ago maybe. I'll have to see if I can post some pictures of that with the video here. So yeah, we have seen flooding here before, and that was before all the talk of climate change and global warming. Hey, it looks like my brother has taken off before his cabin floats away. Yeah. I shouldn't ride through this because this is salt water, but I do want to go over here and look. Yeah, and I have another picture of riding through here on this road, and I opened the door of my truck, and I believe it was up even with my running boards. That was that 15 or 20 year ago flooding. Oh gosh, where is the road here? I don't want to end up in the creek. Oh, I don't know what I ran over. Oh, I see, it was a board or 2x4 or something. We've got stuff floating all around here. Oh man. We got water lapping against the tractor tires there. Just about in the feeder house. I don't have boots to get out and raise that feeder house up and lock it, and I don't want to get my feet wet. Man. All right, let me see if I can sneak around to that combine on the high side and raise that feeder house up. Yeah, maybe not. Can you see the water here? It's completely in this barn. Oh, hell. I can't get to it. And in that last flood that we had that was really bad, it was up in this barn a whole lot deeper as well. And if I recall, these coulters, it came in right under the bearings of those coulters, so up to about here, thereabouts. So what's that, another 12 inches? I think I had those raised at the time. I can't remember. Again, I'll have to go back and look for those pictures. So this isn't the worst of it yet, and I still haven't looked at the high tide chart. Oh man, I was sitting on my hoodie because my bottom was wet and the hoodie fell out. Now it's getting wet, so my seat is gonna get all wet. This is just a miserable day, in case you could not tell from the video. Where does the creek stop and the road begin? That is the question. That's a lot of water. All right, stay between the grass and I think you'll be okay. We'll go slowly here, make sure we don't fall into the ditch or into the creek. And we made it. I guess we'll have some cleanup to do after this storm. I'm not in a boat, by the way. I'm in my truck. That's the waves. That's what is making the waves. And my tin is not blowing up anymore for now. Not sure if we've had the worst of the wind or not. Okay, so much for my rainy day jobs, and this video may get posted before yesterday's video, but I think yesterday I said I had some rainy day jobs to do, which was haul a load of soybeans to Purdue, take the spreader back to Kirby that I use for spreading fertilizer on wheat. No, I don't think I'm doing those. It's just too freaking nasty. Crazy people out on the road driving today that don't know how to drive. So I think I'm going to go home and edit some videos. I am behind a couple of weeks in editing videos, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So you've seen enough of the flooding. I'll try to post some pictures from the other flooding I was talking about. So until next time, see ya.